How are you, Frank?
I'm good, thanks, Davey. Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good stuff, Frank. You work in Joseph O'Brien's. You're right out there in the mornings, but for the last 21 days, you've ran 21 kilometres per day for 21 days, which obviously is a total of 441 kilometres. You're doing it for three different charities. You finished on Monday. How is the body after doing that? That's an incredible amount of running, Frank.
Yeah, the body is absolutely fine, would you believe? I cannot believe myself. I'm after surprising myself how well I feel. I don't have an ache or a pain. I put it a lot of it down to would be the riding out part of it. Each day when I was riding out, if I did have a little slight pain or ache after riding out up in Joseph's, by the time I started my next run, I was completely free from any kind of little ache or pain that I might have. But luckily enough, I never picked up any niggle or injury along the way. So I was very, very lucky now, in fairness.
What inspired you to do this? You're a very keen runner. You've ran for many years in many marathons all around. What gave you this idea to run 21 kilometers a day for 21 days, Frank?
So basically, when the Taoiseach announced the 21-day lockdown, it was starting from the 14th of April to the 5th of May. I was roughly running kind of 50 miles a week at that stage, and I could see the amount of stress people were under, and there was a lot of mental health issues. So what I wanted to do was use my running skills to motivate and help others that are suffering during the pandemic, you know. And there's a lot of people, a lot of unemployment. There's a lot of people, a lot of time on their hands. But I could see that people are not exercising as much as they should. And the only way to combat this pandemic is exercise. It's the key to life, and the more you exercise, the more you feel good, and the more you can get through this kind of a little bit better. So that's where I got the brainwave. So I started on the 14th. So I ran every single half marathon within 2k of my house. And on Monday, before I started it on the 14th, I ran a route of roughly 2.5 miles around the area where I live. And then I set out on an 8-mile loop, which is a 2k radius of my house. My house is the center point of the whole thing, and you can run 12.25 within the circumference of a circle of the 2k. So then I came back then after running the full 8 miles, and then I did another 2.5 miles at the end. So I ran 13.1 miles as a half marathon, or 21k. And I challenged myself then to run every single one of them under 100 minutes, because I like to challenge myself to do. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it properly, you know.
Whatever about running 21 kilometers in 1 hour 40 minutes, which is great running, but to do it for 21 days on the trot is quite incredible, Frank.
Yeah. What really helped me now, when I set up the fundraiser through, and the secretary of Waterford AC set it up for me as an event page, because I wanted the money to kind of stay local. I wanted to be in control of who I actually give the money to locally, and help local charities. And Pieta House and Focus Ireland are the mental health charities that I wanted to really focus on, because they're at a loss then, because their Darkness into Light is not on this year. And Focus Ireland are suffering because there's so many homeless people around. So that inspired me. And the more money I saw coming in on a daily basis, when I finished riding out, I used to always check what was being donated and the more I saw, the more it inspired me to run easier. And as I said, where I'm riding out now, like a lot of credit must go to Joseph, because no way would I have ran this as well and as comfortable as I did if I wasn't riding out horses, and if I wasn't working in the environment I'm working out up in Joseph. He's just a fantastic place to work, and he's just a special man to work for. Like, I can't say enough about him, man. He's just absolute gent.
Yes, definitely. He is that. And Frank, tell us, you had plenty of help in terms of your son. You're a member of the ward for the Leather Club and the Triathlon Club, so there's plenty of members there that have helped you out in this running.
That's it, yeah. So I'm a member of Waterford the Athletic Club and the Triathlon Club. So I called on a few of the members then to run with me. A few days, I ran about 5 or 6 days first myself. And my son is 14, so I got him to cycle a few days with me, which was nice. Kind of, we were chatting along the way, and it went very quickly. And other days then I would get him to meet me at the 10-mile mark and run the last 3.1, which is 5K of it, which was lovely. And then a few of the triathlon lads came with me. You could only bring one person because obviously with social distancing, I couldn't bring a group. I could only bring one at a time and 2 meters apart. So I was bringing one day and another day, which was nice, and they enjoyed it, you know. So it kind of broke up the weeks for me as well by having someone with me, you know.
Massive credit to you too, Frank, in terms of keeping within that distance of the 2 kilometers radius from your house.
Yeah, I was very, very conscious of that. Like, I wanted to do it by the rules, as I said. So I made sure on the Monday when I tested out the route that I would stay within the 2K, and I was so I was kind of turning on myself the whole time, turning right, and I kept in the circle of within the 2K. And as I said, social distance, I would only leave one person go with me at any one time, you know. But how I maintained to run it for 21 days, I ran on my heart rate and the way I felt. So I kept the heart rate between 130 and 150 beats per minute. And if it went over 150 beats per minute, I slowed the pace down. But I had the route judged to perfection. But after running it for 21 days, like, I knew every mile mark, I knew every hill, I knew every incline, I knew when to speed up, when to slow down. And as I said, and my heart rate never went over 150 beats per minute. I have a watch and that'll tell me like what zone I'm in. So I stayed in zone 3, which is between 130 and 145 beats per minute. So that's how I kind of, and I have an awful reputation for probably running too fast a lot of the time. And before I actually started this, like, I could run, say, 10 miles in 65 minutes. But now I was running 10 miles in 75 minutes. So I was running 10 minutes slower than I would normally run in training. But I was, as you say, consecutively running for 21 days. Like, I had to be careful and not to go too fast, you know.
A lot of work went in, Frank, in terms of how you planned you got used to the route, obviously, using your heart, the monitor as well. But in terms of eating and resting and then every morning, like you said, you're riding out in Joseph, so you're kept busy there. But is there sort of a planned diet that you stuck to? And maybe what were you, like, you couldn't go to the beach to get into the water or so? What were you doing to recover?
But that's it. The only fear factor I had when I started was injuries, as I said, and I couldn't avail of my physio. My Kieran Power, used to be a professional cyclist. He was in 3 Olympics. He's my physio, and without having him to give me a kind of rub and any issues you might have, like, as I couldn't call on him, and then I couldn't go out to the seawater, get into the cold water either. So what I used to do was, so I rode out for Joseph then every morning, and when I got home, then I made sure to prepare dinners the night before to have them as soon as I finished my run. So as soon as I finished the run, I always had a protein shake with Mojo milk with the protein. So I got that straight into me within 5 minutes after finishing the run, which is important to repair any kind of damaged tissues or damaged muscles you might have. And then I'll have the dinner that I would have cooked the night before, and that got that straight into me. And then I would have another dinner that evening. So I was eating well and I had everything prepared well. I'd be very organised like that anyway, you know, but it was very important to get the food into you because I would be burning a lot of calories because it was quite hot over the last 21 days, you know. The weather was only raining once, so I was quite lucky in that respect as well.
Yeah, it was fabulous weather. Any idea how much money you've after raising, Frank?
Yeah, when I last looked now, I'm over the 15,000 mark, which is fantastic. Look, as I said, like, it was just me. It was my idea, and I only thought for 2 days beforehand, and so the preparation I had was limited. But the more as it went on, I got more ideas, and I was kind of taking pictures along the route and kind of updating them and update my social media and. As I said, I have a friend, Connor Doyle, who was very helpful to me as well, like getting out to the media there, because I wasn't really getting. I was kind of quietly going along about my business, just doing it, not expecting to raise half as much as I did, you know. So it was fantastic now to raise so much for the chosen charities and to complete it the way I did.
Well, listen, Frank, fair play to you. It's unbelievable achievement what you've done to run. Like I said, 21 kilometers at all. For anybody to run that is a long way, but to do it for 21 days is just absolutely ridiculous. But before I let you go, Frank, I'll have to ask, how are things down in Joseph's? How are the horses going? How are the staff? Is everybody keeping well?
Everybody, yeah, it's fantastic now. Yeah, it's for the last 2 months, everyone is, the horses are chomping at the bit, literally rearing to go. So hopefully now, and they're looking at picture now. Their coats are lovely, and everything is going very, very smoothly there. They're just waiting to get racing now, but basically,
That's good. That's good to hear. I'm sure when things do get going, Joseph will produce plenty of winners as he always does. Listen,
Yeah.
Frank, it's great to talk to you. Keep up the running. Make sure you have a well-earned rest now after all that. And if anybody wants to donate, I'm sure they can go onto your Facebook or Instagram or Twitter pages.
Or the Waterford Letty page as well.
Okay, that's okay. Brilliant.
Lovely.
Listen, Frank, thanks very much for talking to me, and fair play to you again, and mind yourself.
Thanks a million. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thanks.